Alright, today I want to show you the returns of my own portfolio, and actually I plan to do it annually or maybe quarterly. So let me know in the comment section down below if you guys are interested. Now, as mentioned previously, I will reveal my portfolio once I hit 1000 subs. So if you're interested, do subscribe to the channel. Today I will just show you the returns as of today. Now, as the stocks I own and the ratio might change every now and then, so my channel does not provide any stock picking advice. Instead, I aim to educate about personal finance and investing and share my journey together with you. Now, before I begin, there is a very important principles before we talk about investing. That is to have a pool of emergency funds. Now, an ideal basket of emergency funds should be 3 to 6 months of your expenses. And I've previously done contents like Versa and KDI, where these are some good places to park the funds while earning interest. So do check them out in my channel. Now, I would like to respond to a comment by Playtime HD. He wants to know more about how to invest in the S&P and other ETFs, and also the tax applied inside Malaysia and the US tax deduction investing in the ETF. Now, the platforms I use to invest in the S&P is the IBKR and Moo Moo. My referral links are in the description down below, so if you do use them, you will get a little bit of kickback rewards for you as well. Now, these platforms are regulated in many different countries, and I have also previously done a comparison between them. So do check them out in the channel. Okay, so regarding the tax applied for us Malaysian residents on the US dividends is actually 30%. So there is actually 30% withholding tax from the US government when we receive dividends from the stocks. Say for example, you invest in Apple share, and by right you're supposed to receive 10 ringgit. Instead of 10 ringgit, you will actually only receive 7 ringgit, while the other 3 ringgit will goes to the US government. This is because of the 30% withholding tax imposed by the US government, and we do not have a tax treaty with the US. So then you guys might ask, so how do we reduce this tax rate? It's actually by investing in Ireland domiciled ETFs. So all Ireland domiciled funds, in Ireland they have actually a tax treaty with the US, and that is at 15%. So that means if we invest in Ireland domiciled funds, we only need to pay 15% withholding tax instead of the usual 30% withholding tax. So that's why most of us Malaysians and Singaporeans, we will actually go for the Ireland domiciled ETF. So actually there's a very good blog I want to share with you guys by nomanila.com. So I'll link their blog in the description below. Full credit to them. They actually talk about a lot on the investing in the Ireland domiciled fund and S&P 500. So it's actually very thorough. One of the few things that we need to take note is the withholding tax on dividends, which I've just mentioned, and also the estate tax. So there's also 40% estate tax in the US for foreign investors. So meaning if you are passed away with 1 million worth of stock, 400k will go through the US government. So this can't be avoided. So we just want to withdraw our funds before we pass away, to avoid this estate tax. It's just one thing to take note about here. So a very good blog. Do give it a read through, as they have talked many things about the investing in the S&P 500 in the blog. So I'll just link them in the description down below. Okay, so as for my portfolio, later on I will actually open up my investment account so you guys can have a look, and just to let you guys know that I'm not crapping around lah. So why I'm using this Google Finance right now is because in Google Finance we can actually pick Malaysian and US stocks and combine them and also compare them with the S&P 500. So as you can see in screen right here, the S&P 500 returns as of today, 30th of December 2024, is at 25.89%, which is a very good year, and we can say it's a bull run currently happening right now. And if you guys are invested in the US stock market, definitely I think you guys have a very good returns as well. So as for me, personally, I am actually at 35.44%. Year-to-date returns, which is slightly higher than the S&P 500, which I'm actually very happy about it. My goal is actually always to be on par with the S&P 500 and hopefully to slightly beat them by 1 or 2%. And right now I've beat them by 10%, which is actually far exceeded my expectations. So if you guys are interested on the portfolio, my whole portfolio, like on which stocks and what are the allocations are, so make sure to subscribe to the channel, and let's get my channel to 1000 subs and I'll do a portfolio review. So as of now, you can see that the highlights is that I am 70% invested in ETFs and 30% in stocks. So definitely, I think the difference is because of my stocks. They actually bump up the difference from the returns of the S&P 500. While, of course, when a bear market happens, I think I probably would lose more than the S&P 500. So there's always ups and downs in the stock market. Just ride the wave along. So always understand the risk involved when you are investing, and accept the things that are about to happen. Okay. For me, I always try to keep at around 70 to 80% of safe stocks and ETFs, and the rest I would speculate at about 20 to 30%. Yeah, that's one thing about me. So actually, instead of Google Finance, I actually also have this fund tracker that I have tracked as well, where it includes my dividends received as well, and it's more or less the same as what I've shown you. And the reason why I'm using this is actually, this is how I begin with. And previously, it doesn't. Google Finance doesn't have Malaysian stocks as well. And even right now, one of my REITs that I'm invested in also, it's not included in Google Finance. Yeah. So yeah, my returns doesn't include that one single REIT. But overall, it's a very good site for you guys to view. If you can even see some news and some things happening over here. All right, so without further ado, let's jump right into my investment brokerage account. Now, I would like to talk about firstly my main account, which is the IBKR, which I've used to invest in the US stock market. For simple reasons, it provides the best fees in the market right now, the lowest fees, and also it has access to a lot of markets if you are interested to expand your investments. Yeah, this is the main page of the interactive broker website when I'm logging into my portfolio. Also, of course, they have the app as well. Mainly, I will use the apps to buy and sell, but really do like the desktop version as well, as we can set the benchmark. For example, I can set against the S&P 500, so you can see that like on the performance tab here, on the dashboard tab here, I can compare with the S&P and see how have I beaten S&P 500 index. So but of course I have other stocks in other brokerage as well, and also the fees involved. So on average, I would say it's actually much lesser than what you see here. But yeah, this is my current rate of return year to date. So let me see if I can set the year to date. Yeah, I can set the year to date over here as well. That's yeah. So the year to date returns 31 point is showing 29.81%. So that's one thing good about this platform, and of course there's many other things. I will not be going too so deep into IBKR right now. Just want to share you guys like these are the platforms that I'm using. So if you're interested, links is in the description down below, and let's jump right into the next platform. All right, so the next platform I use is actually Moo Moo. So on Moo Moo, there's an asset page where you go into your account page, and there's an assets analysis over here, top right corner. So if I click in the assets analysis, you can see that the analysis of the current stocks that I have and the current cash and available. I have actually filtered down right here to only include the S&P 500. So you can see my performance of my portfolio compared with the S&P 500. I've set it to year to date right now, as you can see on the screen. Of course, don't be too amazed by the returns. Mainly, I'm having so much of returns is also because they actually provided the one free Apple share when I signed up with Moo Moo. While I'm testing the platform, I purchased a few stocks, and then right now I've been holding the stocks, ever since then lah. So that's why you can see my returns quite significantly higher than my other platforms lah. So yeah, this is one of it, Moo Moo platform. So just showing you guys that I do use them myself as well. So this is the returns that I currently have in my Moo Moo platform. I would say that not too much of a stocks that I'm holding, but in future, if I were to invest more towards in the Malaysian market, I will continue to use Moo Moo lah, because right now I think in the Malaysian market they are one of the lowest fees as well. Now previously I used the Maybank brokerage platform, which I will be showing you shortly, because the Maybank brokerage platform back in those days when I first started investing, it was actually at the lowest fees. I started investing in the Malaysian market using the Maybank platform. At that time, it's at around 8 ringgit per trade for the commission. So yeah, at the time was it's like the lowest in the market. Then when Moo Moo comes in and Rakuten comes in, then Moo Moo currently is the lowest brokerage rates that provides you a CDS account that you can invest in IPO, so on and so forth. So I think I will be, if I want to expand more into the Malaysian market, I will definitely use Moo Moo. So that's it for the Moo Moo account. So let's jump right into my next platform, which is the Maybank app. So it's been a while since I've used this Maybank app. I actually don't really use them because currently their brokerage is quite high compared to the Moo Moo. However, my stocks in the Maybank, I've not sell all of them yet. So I do still hold some of them in the Maybank app, and then I don't plan to sell in any short time frame yet. So that's why I'm keeping the stocks here, receiving dividends from the stocks that I have. So one thing good about for us Malaysian, when we invest in Malaysian stock, is that we don't have to pay these withholding tax to the government. So it's already they tax on the company's side already. So when they issue the dividend to us, we don't need to pay this withholding tax. So yeah, this is the app basically. Yeah, this is what I hold in the app right now, and you can see a lot of many different things. Yeah, so nothing much to see on the app right here. Only a couple of stocks that I'm holding. So that's it for the platform overview. Now, overall, I have beat the S&P 500 by, I wouldn't say very significantly, but I hope to continuing this performance in the future years. Now, I don't plan to do hedge or do margin, but I just plan to beat the market instead of beat the market, right? So if I have beaten the S&P, that's a bonus to me lah. So my goal is actually always just to be aligned with the S&P 500 return. So if they make a loss during that year, it's fine with me as well, because I know in the long run I will definitely profit from consistently investing. So yeah, I guess that will be it for today's content. I hope you guys like it, and let me know in the comment section if you have any questions, or if you want me to do a quarter review or annual review of my stocks. And of course, if you want to know what stock I'm invested in, please get my channel to 1,000 subscribers, and I'll do a portfolio review on what stocks and ETFs that I am invested in, and what are the tickers. So you guys are interested, you guys can do more research about it. So yes, I guess that will be it for today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.